It all started on the 4th of September. The government ordered the shutdown of 26 social media platforms, including Facebook, Instagram, X, YouTube, LinkedIn, Reddit, Signal, and Snapchat, and over non-compliance with new local registration agreements. Now, really, what is this about? Hashtag NepoKids. Nepal is on fire, and there is an uprising that is taking the country by storm. It's all based on corruption. And today we're going to find out more. A remarkable 48 hours, Jim.
Well, I think for a lot of Canadians to see what's going on in Nepal, it's shocking. And this may not be the only time this happens around the world. A lot of countries are openly talking about social media bans. There's great concern what potential harm it may or may not be doing to their youth, to their society. Australia is a country that has banned social media under a certain age. Other countries are doing the same thing, but
even here in Canada, there's restrictions on what news we can get and not get.
And a lot of schools have banned cell phones, ergo banned social media in the classroom because of such concerns that kids simply are not paying attention and learning.
It is a remarkable last few days in Nepal, Kathmandu, and many parts of Nepal. Under fire, the parliament taken by storm, all of the required documentations of the Supreme Court up in flames, and
the prime minister had to be evacuated with a military helicopter for his own safety.
So many ministers have been, so many of the prime ministers have been chased down, their homes firebombed, and in fact, sadly, one of the wives of one of the ministers burned in one of those fires to death. There are reported as many as 19 deaths among the rioters. And it seems to be going on and on. Jim, I thought it might be a good idea for us to get an idea of what's happening on the ground. Joining us now, live from Kathmandu, Roshan Ghimire, thank you so much for being with us in the midst of all of this tumult going on. Maybe you could give us an idea of, from your perspective, what the last 4 or 5 days has felt like there.
Sure, Mike. Thank you so much for having me over here. Regarding the Nepal situation currently, it's not just about the social media bans. The international media is right now, they are focusing the revolution the Gen Z started is because of the social media bans. It's not that. It's because of the corruption, deep-rooted corruption, the government, the ministers, the political parties, all the officials in Southeast, in Nepal. It's deep-rooted corruption. And the Gen Z, they stood up as a momentum of Nepo kids that started from Indonesia, Philippines, and that was coming to Nepal. And at that time, the government, they wanted all the social medias to register, and then they banned the Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, and all the social media platforms. And then it's not just about the social media interruptions. This is a Gen Z moment. The Gen Z, they started a revolution. There were deaths, students, 14-year children in the student uniform was shot dead in the head. And this caused a huge disturbance in the Nepalese community, not just Gen Zs, but all the people they stood up today in Kathmandu, and then the ministers, those officials who ordered shooting of the children in the school uniforms. They were carrying school bags. There were books. There were pencils, pens, and then these ministers, their houses were burned down. And the situation right now in Nepal, the Gen Zs, they are currently enjoying. Currently, it's 18 past 10 p.m. here in Kathmandu. From 10 p.m., the chief of army, he has taken the power, and the security is in control of army now. Now the Gen Zs are quite happy because all the corrupted leaders, they are not here. They are in the custody of the army. there is currently there is not a rule of law at the moment, but from 10 p.m. now the army is taking power. So the streets everywhere, the people there are armies. Before that, before a couple of hours, young guys they took guns from armies,
Right.
militaries. They took the guns in their hands. All the
You know,
government buildings,
it's
all the parliament buildings, everything is burned down.
it's been something that we've been watching certainly on television and online over the last couple of days. And I think, Jim, what's interesting is that you can draw comparisons to other parts of the world where the Gen Z generation is suffering. 20% unemployment, we understand. It's 11% overall, and 20%, or is 20%
For the youth.
for the youth overall. This is a disturbing thing, and to see such opulence and corruption of the families of these ministers and the government officials really did spark something here.
Well, that was my question to you, sir, is for maybe people who don't understand, how big of a gap is there between the working class of Nepal and Kathmandu and the wealthy and the people that they are rising up against?
There is a huge gap. There is a huge gap. Today, in front of, I saw in the Sherbad, there was a house, president's house was burned. The people they took like the same thing in the Bangladesh. They took all the gas. They took all the materials, things from their buildings. They are burning five-star hotels invested by these ministers. There is a huge gap. The working class and the elite ones. There is a huge gap. That's the reason the people they are quite frustrated. They just don't want the ministers' sons and daughters to enjoy luxury in abroad, and while the people, the deep ground people, they are paying tax to the government, and they just don't want the tax to be utilized in that way. So this Gen Z momentum is currently everything is reverse now. We don't know how the government is gonna be, because the parliament, many of the parliament members, they have already resigned. The chief of army, president himself has called major, all the concerned people, Gen Z revolutionary bodies. The Balendra Saha, the mayor of the Kathmandu Valley, whom all the Nepalese people they think he is the icon of Nepal. They think he is the icon for the Gen Zs. They have called Balendra Saha. They have called other prominent leaders for the meeting. So it's we gonna see what's and see how the future gonna look like.
At the moment, does the army chief, I believe it's Shakraj Sigel, is now appealing for everybody to calm, that justice will be brought, that they're going to look into this, that it will become an investigation of the army. Does that then put the chief of the army essentially in control of the country at the moment? Or who's running Nepal at the moment?
Currently, no one is running Nepal at the moment. That is the very interesting fact, because the prime minister has resigned. All the cabinet ministers has resigned. Parliament members they have resigned. The constitutions hasn't been dissolved yet. But this current situation, the the president of the country needs to make the decision, and the president of the country has urged Chief of the Army, Balendra Saha, and other prominent members, Gen Z revolutionary bodies, to come and sit and talk, because he doesn't want to just impose his rule. He just wants to sit and negotiate and see the future for the Nepalese, Gen Zs, all of them right now, they want Gen Z's participations in the government. They want Gen Z's voice in the government. So it's going to be, for a couple of days, it's going to be quite difficult situation. We can't say anything right now. But the good thing is, right after 10 p.m., the army chief said that we will be in control of the security of the nation. They haven't said that we will take all the country control of the country. We will take country control of the country. So they haven't said that they will be ruling the country now. So they have said that we will be doing the security, because before a couple of hours there were no any police officials in the embassies, even in the U.S. embassies and anywhere in in Kathmandu. All the police officers were called off because the country's supremo, the prime ministers, everyone, they resigned. There was no rule of law.
So there was nobody in charge of the police for at that time. Wow. Has the army now taken control of the police forces to utilize them to bring calm to the necessary areas?
Yes, they have started. They have started sending army troops to all over the parts of the country and all over the states. And now the security system, like the changes, the revolutionary bodies, once they win the revolution, there are lots of people they want to get advantage of the revolution. They might be looting, they might be going to the shops, right, getting things stops out. So they don't want, even the Gen Zs, they don't want. Gen Zs protest words for the change of the system. They wanted to bring down the corrupt leaders, not to loot the country, not to burn all the government buildings. So there has been some significant destructions as well in the country. Many places it's burned down. Kathmandu cloud, you can see it right now. It's quite dark. Some people, they are saying it's a good thing that we won the revolution.
It's very interesting that this revolution is being led by the Gen Zs, that so many times, so often, even I have made fun of the Gen Zs for just being sitters on the fence.
Well, they didn't sit here. Well, and that was my next question. As difficult and as shocking as this incident has been, sir, when everything sort of settles down, will Nepal be a better country for it?
Yes, definitely. Nepal is going to be one of the best country in the world, because right now, till now, there were lots of political leaders. The system was quite corrupted. What we can see now here is lots of things have been changed within 24 to 48 hours. No one ever expected this would happen in any parts of the world. They have changed everything. Like the one of the political party, UML, the leader of the political party, KP Sharma Oli, was the prime minister. His political party is completely vanished now. Most of the leaders, top level leaders, student leaders, and everyone, they have resigned. They were against they were against his words. They were against his mission. So right now, major political parties in Nepal, if you see Nepalese Congress, you can see the UML, the Maoist, the people, they have started, change in their mind. So things gonna be changed, but the question is, who is going to lead Nepal now? This is the big question. And how is going to be the system? Like, is it going to be the direct elected prime minister, or the same constitutions, or what's going to be next? So this is the main question.
Well, the one thing that I will certainly say on behalf of all of us here at TPL, we wish calm in Nepal soon, and no return to violence as this kind of works itself out. I hope that the army chief remains in control of what happens, and that the Gen Zers finally bring an end to the corruption there in Nepal. From Kathmandu, joining us is Roshan, and we appreciate that. Roshan Ghimire, our correspondent in Kathmandu. Thank you. We'll be back in touch with you on another day on brighter terms, I hope, and we wish you guys the best.
Cheers.
A remarkable uprising. Very quick, very generational. It's almost like they told the boomers to stay home. We've got this.
Do you remember in England in the mid 1970s, the youth unemployment rate was out of control? And out of that, we had the creation of punk rock music.
It's true. I was going to say.
And punk rock music was born out of extreme frustration of the youth of England, who felt they had nowhere to go, and the government was they had no prospects, and eventually they had their uprising, and they used music and culture and clothing to have their big punk rock uprising and change things. And every once in a while we sent, and it's generational. All the youth today in the 60s don't know what it's like in the war. Well, the youth in the 60s were the ones that were at the forefront of the Vietnam War protests. And eventually the youth feel, wait a second, this is wrong. And they stand up and be counted. And for what Nepal did and what the youth did, it's a pretty remarkable thing that we'll be studying for years to come.
That gap that Roshan mentions, that is between the average person in Nepal and what the ministers' families were living like, when that social media leaked, and it became a moment of awakening for that generation, and it was being obviously hidden from them. That opulence, and you and I have a friend from Nepal, and she'll tell us that the town shared a bicycle. They had a single bicycle in that town. To be given access to watching the Nepo babies of that government live high on the hog on corrupt money, it was just too much. It was a breaking point. And it makes me wonder where else we're going to see this in the world.
Well, I mean, there are countries around the world where there is a lot of people who are upset. They're frustrated. There are uprisings. They feel like, where else do we have to turn?
We're not so different here, Jim.
No.
The same generation is in trouble.
Yeah. We could go around the world and look at things like this. And I think a lot of government leaders and a lot of governments and a lot of sociologists are looking what happened in Nepal, wondering, could that happen in our own backyard?
We'll keep you updated from Kathmandu. We have feet on the street, keeping an eye. Roshan and a couple of other correspondents joining us, and we appreciate everything they're doing to stay in touch with us. It's after curfew there as we record this, and it seemed that there was calm in the streets to some degree, but we'll keep on the story. Thank you for joining us. This is The Daily Canceled. TPL, Jim Lang, Mike Wixson. We'll see you next time.